Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Drawing with Jack. I'm one of the producers for the Cox and Space. My name is Logan Gifford. Sitting alongside me today is Mr. Skipper Marazi.
What's
He's
up, guys?
one of the creators, producers, directors of the show. We also are expecting Mr. Jack Haynes, our wonderful illustrator, as well as a presence from Mr. Aaron Cosbio tonight.
Yeah. So we are expecting all that. It's good to be back with Jack. We do have some
We also do have the return, I believe. Is this the official return of Skipper Marazi as one of the hosts of Drawing with Jack?
oh no, I was back on earlier this week, but you came and went. So it's all right. We did get some
Ah,
stuff
yeah.
done, but yeah, I came in. I got to thank everybody and you as well, Logan, for filling in again while I was gone. Jack Haynes, welcome to Drawing with
As if
Jack.
on cue.
Actually, right
Uh,
on time, I
well,
believe.
it is the same time.
Yeah, all the time.
Same stupid time, same stupid channel, ladies
That's
and
right.
gentlemen.
But
That's right. I
Every
every
mean,
Tuesday and Thursday, you can make sure, if you want to tune in live to the Discord, you can find
stupid
and
live.
listen in on. Yeah, you can listen on the stupid Discord channel.
So this is actually Jack's first official day on Thursday. So John with Jack has switched officially to Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 Central Standard Time. So you guys can flip
Right.
over here and check us out, hang out with us while Jack draws. We do still have 4 pages left, but we're getting the second one finished up. A couple of little details here and there
Yeah.
across the
I
panel,
think
and
I think I think we're real close.
yeah.
I feel like a lot of the little details are here. They're good. Let's get
Yeah,
some color on these buttons.
there you go. That was one of the
And
things I was gonna
tell
I
you
was gonna
what,
ask you about.
open up the
So the thing
color
that
palette.
we actually had kicked off the podcast because Logan and I were just starting a conversation, because he was saying that the problem with the American dream is that when people come up with an idea, the first thing they think is that they have to market it. Now I was going to agree a certain to extent, but also disagree that it's not bad to market it, but the thing that should be tied to that is that as you sell that thing, regardless of how much you sell it, the people who help you need a correct proportion of the sales that you sell it, you give it back to them. And it has to be a fair portion. Um,
Well,
I'm
no.
not trying to brag, and I have no actual success behind this model so far. It might be completely wrong. We'll have to see. But the Wigwags model is that people who put into the company get 20 up to 20% back, while the people who do the work get 80% of the profit that comes back for this company. Um, Again, there's different models that may exist, but I think that that model should be the majority of the funds go back to the people who are doing the work. And if you're a person who comes up with an idea, you should be a person who does the work to get it done, because then it makes sense that you also reap the cost of labor or the profit that comes back because you're the one of the people who made it happen. Um, I think
So
having money is great, but it's not the end all and be all because you need labor to pull things off always, and labor and capitalism is always ripped off. Anyway, um, both of you
and
have the chance
I
before.
would add on to that, Skipper, like just because you contributed to the idea, and I think this is one of the first times we had spoken about it. If you happen to already be a crew member on the Cox and Space Patreon, and you want to give us an idea, guess what? You're gonna have to come and flesh it out with us. Hope you're not bashful, because you're gonna have to come talk with us and flesh out your idea with us and make sure that we can make this work. So like, also this is not anything to say. No pressure. We're cool guys, but we're gonna have to
Lo
speak with you if
Logan
you
Logan
do
is
end up
typing
submitting an
this up way
idea.
too much. What the truth is that we can actually take any idea and flesh it out. So if you
Truly
do,
can.
if you're a $5 Patreon member for the Cox in Space and you would like to just pitch a single idea, and you want to do that once a month, or you just like to comment on the things you like, that's totally fine. We definitely appreciate it. If you also want to have more input, we do have the Bridge
But I was
member
just saying, like,
Patreon badge, which you can buy at $100 a month, and you are welcome then to come flesh out ideas with us and to see where that goes. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people who work on this project, so uh, oh, there's ideas that come in from all over the place, and they are either useful or not useful. We find out.
my
Uh,
apologies, Skip.
You're all
I should
good.
read up. I should read up more on the tiers before I should advertise them. But
Well, no,
anyway,
it is a hype thing.
you
We
know,
definitely that is 100% the fact. But like going back to a capitalist model, like you really should, if you're talking about a capitalism that helps the people, the most people, is put the profit back into your workers, because it first of all, it's just a logical fallacy. If you don't have healthy workers because they don't have a good diet, or they don't have a safe place to live, or they don't have proper health care, you will get less labor out of them. That's just true of any animal that you put to the test, because humans are a type of, burden, beast of burden. Um, and so it just makes sense that you do that. The other thing that Aaron has pointed out, and we talked about on the last podcast, is trickle up economics. People who don't have money to buy things can't buy things. So the economy can't move because they have no funds to help it move. They can't rent places, they can't get property, they can't have those leisure activities. So there's nothing to sell people to as the economy shrinks. So, Jack, I'm sure
right.
this is not what you wanted to be bombarded
See, and
with as soon as you join in, but Logan, what you got?
that's another thing that
oh,
fucks me up is that flat screen TVs are super cheap these days. But I'm like, man, everybody has a flat screen TV now. Fucking, make toilet paper 97 cents a roll again. What the fuck?
Right? Like those prices are
I can
dictated
be
to a certain
bombarded with.
extent, but come again?
I said I can be bombarded with anything right now. I'm fine. With, did you say it looked like I didn't want to be bombarded with this right now?
No, no, I just asking.
Oh, if anyone is prepared for these types of
Okay.
conversations, I feel like Jack is prepared.
Jack is like, yeah, actually, this is the
I
birthplace of
definitely
these types
am.
of conversations, is with John with Jack. Um,
I think Jack was one of the reasons I was like, dude, I don't think this podcast is supposed to be political.
we
Uh,
do have to throw
yeah,
that
I
out
feel
as a
bad about
disclaimer.
how intense I got last
And I'm
episode.
not
I got
mad at you because the average American person has a lot of right to be pissed off right now.
yeah,
And regardless of how you voted, any person has the right to be pretty pissed at the state of things right now.
well,
So
and
I'm not
again,
mad at you for voicing your opinion, baby. We all got freedom of speech. I'm not going to hold it against you.
well, that's good. I mean, really, I just want people to be more informed as well. Like, I really just want people to be more like honestly informed, and like informed, not just like that they know what's going on like a factual basis or whatever, but like know how far away you are from an expert. Like have confidence in how ignorant you are compared to somebody who
Right.
might actually know about something like the Middle East or voting rights disappearing.
I'll double
Uh,
down. I'll double down on that idea, Jack, and I'll say let's normalize telling people again that hey, your opinion is stupid and you're ill-informed.
I
Like,
mean,
can we?
Well,
Is there space where that happens anymore?
so
maybe not. Maybe your opinion isn't stupid. Like I like ignorant because it kind of reinforces the idea that it's just like a lack of knowledge. Like you can fix it. Like you can be
Right.
informed. Like you can fix ignorance.
yeah,
Stupidity is like
that's the
a little
thing
more
really
personal. Like
is.
I try not to call anybody.
Thank you. There's Aaron Cosville. I was
Was that
actually
Mr.
about to just
Cosby?
quote Aaron Cosville. Aaron Cosville, we closed on the conversation on Tuesday with whether it's more important to be kind or to be honest. And Aaron's take was that it's more important to be kind. And this is where he landed, and I kind of agree with him, so that's why I'm repeating it. Is that once you are kind to a
See,
person, you
that's
can get,
actually a
hang
crazy
on,
conversation.
we'll have that conversation in a second. But once you're kind to a person, you can get them to get their guard down. to the point where they actually are willing to listen to your opinion so you can be honest with them. So even in the point where people are just like completely ignorant and angry, like the fact that if you can win them over just by be like, I do understand that you're scared about the situation, does allow you to have the opportunity to actually have a conversation, which is true. I found out too in the bike shop. There are people, I live in the South who are like hardcore Republican, but then they start talking about how they're confused and scared about the things that are happening because they didn't think that that's what was going to be happening because they vote against this sort of
Right.
thing. Um, and so like just being like, yeah, I hear you, right? That sucks. So then they think that I'm like there where they are politically, and then we have the opportunity to talk about like, man, they it's just a game. It's just like, it's a entertainment.
Right.
It's a relationship.
Yeah, but then I get to have a relationship with them. So, um, actually, in that, I got to direct help point somebody to Behind the Bastards as a good source of information because I do appreciate how Robert Evans gives like his whole set of information and cites his sources as a journalist should. So you not only get good information, but like how good information should be presented. So shout out to Jack and shout out to Robert Evans for Behind the Bastards because he turned me on to it. But it's hella good. Uh, because he does. He covers a lot of history to like kind of point to how we got to where we are. So, anyway,
Sorry if y'all
anybody
can hear
else
the,
have some
the sprinkles of my French bread in the background.
oh my God. Anybody else have some podcast recommendations or things that they've been listening to recently, like audiobooks? Aaron Casville, what have you been listening to at work?
What's up?
What have you been listening to at work?
Oh, well, today, I didn't really listen. Yesterday I did listen to, there was the guy from Pixar who
Okay,
made Up, and he talking about animation, so that was pretty cool.
cool.
Like
Did,
how like a team of animators will do like 4 seconds in a day.
Oh wow.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah. I did a bunch of frames
So that's for
today
a
and then
Pixar movie
realized
where
it was a fraction of a second. Yeah.
where they consider every possible movement of light and shadow, and that level of animation is top tier. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's
But
Pixar.
to skip an answer your question about what type of stuff I'll be listening to during the work.
Okay, yeah.
I will say, as far as podcasts go, one of the things I was a fan of, and this, kind of calls back to my wrestling fandom, I guess. I'm a very big fan of Jim Cornette and his podcast. The man is a wordsmith. His podcast can range from 2.5 to like 3.5, 4 hours long if he's
Wow.
reviewing like a pay-per-view or something.
Wow.
Because the man will sit there and walk you through, every spot of the entire match. He'll tell you why he thought it was stupid, why he thought it was funny, why he thought it was good. And, the guy really knows about his craft. And just to listen to someone speak about something that they know and that they're so passionate about is
Right,
very
yeah.
entertaining to me. But not only that, the guy's a wordsmith. The guy can sit there because his bit in the 80s, if you know about Jim Cornette,
I don't.
like I said, some of you guys predate me, but if y'all would have had to have been wrestling fans at the time to know about Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express.
Was he a wrestler?
So Jim Cornette was a manager in the 80s. Jim
Oh,
Cornette
okay.
was a manager in the 80s, so he managed a tag team. And essentially what that meant was like he was the guy because in reality neither of these dudes knew how to talk. Like, like these guys, once you put them in front of a camera, they couldn't cut a promo. They couldn't sit there and like build hype for a match or anything. So Jim Cornette was the guy that they put in front of these guys, and he could cut a promo and he can sit there and build hype because he never stumbles over his word. He can sit there and deliver you just 45 seconds to like 2 minutes worth of just fire, just building hype, calling you every type of son of a bitch and motherfucker, and this is why we're gonna win this match, and this is why you guys are nothing but a bunch of dogs. Y'all didn't want to face us for the Intercontinental titles, and like I don't know, like he could go back and forth, and he's so good at what he does. So I'm very much a fan of Jim Cornette, and I guess it's just in short because he can ramble, and he's good at it.
I gotcha. So when he's doing a podcast, you're like, yeah, hell yeah. Give me an hour and 45 minutes. Give me 2 hours.
Yeah, because he does. Absolutely, yeah. Because like I said, he's just such good. He's such a good, like. Not only is he like a wrestling historian, like he started as a wrestling fan. So even through his tenure in the wrestling business, he maintained his fandom of the business, and he was like, he had this idea of like, this is what wrestling is. And one of the reasons he became such a prolific personality is because he got into some shit with Vince Russo, who was one of the main writers of the Attitude Era and the collapse of WCW.
Gotcha. As an entity.
But that's a story for a different. We almost need to do it. I almost feel like me and Jack need to do like a full wrestling podcast. Like let's just be we just draw and talk about wrestling.
Right.
Because I feel like we had really good conversations.
I mean, it is true.
I remember so little.
That one is one of my favorite in the heart. You guys can't watch it on YouTube. You will have to go over to Patreon. You can purchase just the post if you want to just watch the video, or you can become a subscriber and watch it as well. To watch all the behind the scenes commentary that Logan and Jack do. So it is fantastic, and I do recommend it. Hey, so
But anyway,
back in my day, everybody wrestled in the World Wildlife Foundation.
Jack, do you see?
in this corner, Stone Cold Steve Austin. In this corner,
Yeah,
an Asian panda.
there's no global warming with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wow,
Stone Cold
that
Steve Austin
wow.
tag team with the polar bear. Like, you think we're gonna scare this global warming? What?
Hey, Jack, do you see the his badge in that?
That are contributing to 75% of the world's carbon emissions.
What are you trying to say? What, Caleb, what are you trying to say?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I didn't want to break up a bit. I also didn't want to get too far away. Richard's badge is missing some color in this panel. Since you were there, if you're working on like light and shadow and like in that mode, I'm sorry. My video is a little
Yeah.
I am
Is
so sorry
Caleb
for
breaking up for anybody else?
I'm hearing like every third word from you, Skip.
Yeah.
So he's skipping words.
the skipper. How's that, guys? Better or
That's
not?
much better. Yeah.
Much better. Okay.
I finally heard. I heard the full statement that you made.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't hear. Is that?
I said if you're not in the middle of something right now, can you get Richard's badge in this panel?
Can I get Richard's what?
His badge.
Badge.
Oh, gotcha.
And sorry guys for breaking the flow. I mean that was a fantastic bit. I was sitting here laughing, and then I was like, oh no, before we get too far away. I just want to make sure that he has a.
Because like, and honestly, I thought Jack cut me off because he got off because he couldn't hear what you said. I like put myself on mute, like on Stone Cold, like.
No, I wasn't pissed off. I could hear that Caleb was trying to ask something, but I couldn't hear what he was saying, so I just
And I
had
thought
to
it was
like.
because of me.
I'm
Fucking
sorry,
Discord.
guys. So no, like actually, I'm going to take a moment here just to throw in an ad break, just to let you know that you can promote us by becoming a Patreon member, or by sponsoring us through stuff, and funding will describe your product for you, because then we'll get better and faster internet, and I can move out of Lebanon or wherever they have super slow internet at. I don't live in Lebanon, but I don't have to also
So also,
if you sponsor this program. So just so you know, this could be your ad break right now. So, because you guys like selling stuff and having stuff given to us so we can
absolutely
be
it could.
sponsored by them, don't you? Jack,
Oh, absolutely.
do you like free stuff being
But
sent to
also
you to
too,
test?
you can get it read. You can get a red sultry accent that nobody's ever heard before.
Oh yeah,
So
we have definitely have
let this
talent.
man right here read the ad.
Yeah,
You might not,
any
you might
number
not
of
understand like maybe every fourth word, but you know what? It's gonna sound good, and people are gonna remember it because they're gonna be like, "What the fuck was that guy talking
What the fuck
about?"
was he talking about? Was he saying peanut butter guns?
All I heard was the brand name and the discount code. He sounded passionate about it.
Let's see.
Just
I have
saying,
to really put that on if I want to.
just saying. So, uh, I don't think
But also
Jack,
say,
we actually heard from you on the question of whether or not you think it's more important to be honest or kind. Where do you land on that?
Oh, for me,
Yeah.
I think that's a very personal question. Like
Hmm.
I think it differs from person to person. Really, I think a lot of people, if they can get away with something, they can live with it. Me personally, like I can't live with like twisted shit on my mind all the time. So I personally would rather be honest than kind ultimately, but I think that being kind is one of the. I mean, being kind to people is like an important thing. I mean, I think we can do both at the same time. Like, I think ultimately we have more of a duty to be honest with ourselves, way more than to be kind to ourselves. But I think people choose the
Huh.
latter.
Huh.
hang on.
That's a hot take. Yeah, Logan, you
If I
want to
can
take
cut
it?
you off right there,
For sure.
you don't want to be. You don't want to be kind to yourself, Jack.
I
Jack
don't think
No,
Haney.
no, 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 no.
that's not
No,
what he
no, no, no,
said,
that's not
but
what I'm
I
saying.
can see how that'd be
I
taken
think
that
we
way.
should be kind to ourselves. I think we should be kind to ourselves. I think it's a very important thing. I think ultimately we have more of a duty to be honest with ourselves than to be kind to ourselves. I mean, I think that we can be kind and honest to ourselves, but I mean, I think that a lot of people, you know, their relationship with truth is very. What is going on with this?
It seems like it's just a little thing I asked you, but I'm sure you're working on a whole different layer, a whole different thought process. Thank you for taking the time out to do that.
Program. If you don't give my boy Jack the brushes he needs, don't make me come over there.
I just
Yeah.
don't understand.
Death.
I just don't understand why I can't paint. I just don't understand why I can't paint. See, look at the yellow there. It's like, what is like going on over the?
It's
Is it
yellow over there.
this here? Um. Anyway.
Logan, Capricorn take. Where do you stand on the kindness versus honesty conversation?
Personally, this is a philosophical quandary.
It is.
This is something that is handled on a case by case basis, I think.
Interesting. Okay.
Sometimes it is better to be kind. Sometimes it is better to be honest. You know?
Hmm.
Like if I feel like it depends on who you're talking to. if you're talking to a random lady on the street that you'll never see again, and she looks at you and says, "Does this dress make me look fat?" You would have no qualms looking at her and being like, "You know what? I don't think blue's your color." But if it's, if it's the woman that you
Damn,
love and
okay.
that you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, you're gonna say something a little different.
Like,
And sometimes being honest is a kindness. But
Exactly.
sometimes
Kyle,
it isn't.
I think that hit the nail on the head, because sometimes being honest always isn't kind. That's why I say it's a case by case basis. Sometimes honesty is kindness, but it's a case by case thing. It depends on who you're speaking to. It depends on what the situation is. And personally, I couldn't choose 50-50. I'm gonna be that one case where the coin lands right there on its side.
all right.
I can't pick either or, because there's situations where I've had to choose one or the other, and I'm like, man, that's rough. Like, you either have to be honest and be an asshole, or lie to them but be nice. And it's like,
And sometimes you think
and
you're just being honest, but you're actually just being mean because you like being mean and calling it honesty.
Yeah.
Now,
Bailey, I guess
then you
as a-
said
as
you
a-
said you
you know,
feels like you pointed at somebody directly in this conversation, but I mean some people. I think is what you mean, correct? Also, since I've stepped into the conversation,
I'm just speaking generally as a person. Like, if I were to lie to the world, you know.
so there's a fun fact that Jack probably doesn't know is the year I went to Burning Man, which I think was in 2005 or 2006. This CD, yes CD, got stuck in the van we had rented in the CD player, and so driving from the West Coast to Chicago, we could only listen to this CD on repeat, which I mean is dope. First of all, movements by Booka Shade.
You gave me the name of the CD was.
Yeah, it's really really fantastic. And then we listened to it on the way back too, after like our brains were totally fried for being in the desert, and also very fantastic. It's not a bad CD to get stuck in your CD player for miles and miles.
If you give me the name of that album, I'll try to listen to it for 16 straight hours and see if I can handle it.
It's on screen right now. It's Booka Shade. Yeah, it's the Movements album.
Oh,
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So
gave
that
you this album? Wait, didn't you
no
say
no
I gave you
no
this
no.
album?
I heard this before I met you, but it popped on, and then all of a sudden I was like back on that trip, because this, like, seriously, I've heard this hours of this track. You know what I mean? And loved it every time I've heard it. So I would walk 5,000 miles from How I Met Your Mother. This is the track that there was like 12 of us or something. We're all on that bus. We had a great time. It was one of the best times of my life. Going out to the desert. So
Nice.
yeah. I don't know what it's like now. It's been a long time,
this,
but
album. Yeah. Dude, I'm happy that somebody else has like a special connection to this album, because this album to me represents when I broke off from my ex-wife, and it was kind of like discovering myself in a new era of life, and some friends introduced me to different ways to find music, and I just
wait, so it's 2002 or 2004, so you mean piracy.
Around. This reminds me of the last time that I you incriminate me.
I'm sorry.
I pretty much got this album and burned it to a disc and like drove around. This is the last time that I owned a car.
Oh jeez. Wow.
I drove around. It was a Mazda. It was a Mazda RX-6, I think, or MX-6, something like that. But
MI6?
yeah, maybe.
Almost.
But
Yeah.
I drove around.
He was an undercover.
The suburbs of Chicago, Glendale Heights area. Listen to that album for sure. Listen to this album too. This album came out around the same time. This album came out, I think, in like 2005 or 2004, maybe.
Yeah.
for the DJ Danger Mouse Gray album with Jay-Z, the Beatles and Beatles White album.
Oh,
And,
hell yes. No,
Daisy Jones
I've
album.
dropped in the chat before because it is a good mix up.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm just Pine Bro. You guys ever get super drunk and listen to Pine Bro?
No.
You'll
I've
cry.
never done either of those things.
I know, Cosgrove. I'm sorry. I need to make the conversations more relatable to you so you can chime in more often, dude. I'm sorry.
Hey, have you ever not been drunk and not listened to Fine Bro?
All the time.
Dude,
Oh, that's awesome.
absolutely.
I mean, dude, I have also.
Have you
Well-
ever done both those dogs today?
Holy
What's that?
fuck, what a great bit.
I was just trying to make it
That was great.
relatable.
That was awesome because you just inverted it.
Here's the yeah, exactly. That's just it's just a trick
Fucking
of
great
comedy.
shit.
So here's the thing. I land on the kindest thing is that we should always be doing everything kindly. Like there should never be a moment that we're not trying to be kind. There's never an excuse not to be kind. And so that comes to telling the
Right,
truth. Like if you're in the place
Always
that
be
you're telling
kind,
the
but be
truth, you always have
honest
to.
when you can.
Yeah, I mean that's the right. Like as honest as you can be is kind of like the as a Gemini, I'm definitely like about that gray area. You know what I mean? Like you don't be like, yeah, your dog's dead, little kid. You'd be like, nah, he's gone to heaven. Just so that they're like, okay, they can deal with the first fact that he's gone, which is going to be the traumatic thing for him.
Yeah.
And then as they get older and more capable to talk about more stuff that you do, talk about more stuff.
Yeah. Then you can question whether or not animals have souls and do animals go to heaven. Probably. I
Right,
don't see where
right.
else they would go.
Yeah, I mean, life comes and goes
Especially your
from
dog.
places. The same place it
Especially,
seems to be.
especially.
Yeah. And, you know, R.I.P. the cats that were in Logan's house recently, who were kittens that could not make it. Because I mean, he was sharing that with me before we got on Drawn with Jack.
No.
Yeah, that some of them
What
didn't make it.
Wait, the kids didn't make it?
Some of them, because they were born with deformities and, you know, sicknesses. That's that sort of thing, you know. So, but like, I was just like, okay, yeah, you know, life comes from a place and sometimes it swallows
Yeah, I
itself
think
back up again.
one of them was the runt, and one of them I think was born with fluid on his lungs because ever since he was able, he was coughing and sneezing, and he always had stuff in his eyes. His nose was running, so I think he was just born with some stuff in his lungs, and he made it to about 3 or 4 weeks old, but we ended up having to put him down.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's rough, man. But you know, the old lady fosters cats, and I told her when she started doing that, you know, like it's what I like to call a cost of life. You know, it's like,
Right.
you know, sometimes you know, especially with animals and stuff like that, when you have litters of them, when you have 6, 7 at a time, you know, 5, 6, not all of them are gonna make it. You know, you might have 1 or 2 that survive.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that's really the thing. I mean, and I also shared earlier, so forgive me for repeating
Well,
myself.
you gotta
But
have a whole litter so that, like, you're
yeah, humans used to do the same thing. I mean, it was fairly common for people to have large families, knowing that a quarter of them or half of them might die off before they reach adulthood. It's more recent that we have healthcare or had healthcare,
Right.
where you know you could
one gonna make it past 12 years old.
Yeah,
You know, they were
it was-
gonna be able to tend the farm or whatever.
yeah, women dying in childbirth was common. Babies dying as before they reached, you know, any form of it, you know, children, you know, out of infancy, was common. People dying in accidents, it was just you would expect that you'd only get a few. So yeah, the cost of living is that we live solely to die. It's on us to enjoy the ride, you know. There's more emptiness in the cosmos than there is sparks of light. That's just the truth of space, the truth of the inside of our bodies, the truth of us in a timeline. So, burst forth with
If you're
joy.
kind of cutting out again, man.
That happens when I get more than 6 inches away from the screen, so forgive me.
Yeah, I apologize. Like, but that's kind of what it is. It's really hard to hear certain, like if you're going on monologues, it's hard to hear past like every fifth word.
There.
Once again, I heard like one sound that you made when you spoke.
He's fake.
We gotta get you a Bluetooth mic staple, my man. We gotta do something for you.
No, it's the internet connection for sure. Once I've stopped, using a hotspot,
Oh,
I'm sure that it will be better. Hey, so Logan, I got a question
honestly,
for
seeing
you.
you flip back and forth from like the white waddle to the red waddle.
What?
Logan was saying something, but then he stopped.
I thought other people were talking, so I quit.
Oh,
But I was just gonna say it was kind of funny watching him like switch between like the white waddle and the red waddle, because when it wasn't colored, you could see all the details and it made him look super old. And I thought it was funny. But also too, that could be a visual bit that we could use when we do like callbacks or something, or if we ever do like future bits. Like the bottles just get real pale and you see the wrinkles and the detail on them.
oh yeah. And they would start to sag.
Right. That'd be good. I don't know why, just seeing that just kind of cued that up in my brain. But yeah, I feel like that'd be a good thing to do if we ever had anything like that where the cogs had to appear as like old.
Hey, Jack, did we do colored eyes in
Yeah.
the first page? I thought we
We
did.
did.
I thought we did white.
Yep.
These are the eyes.
Holy crap! I am so
Oh, we
sorry.
did do white there. I
So
gotta. I mean,
in that panel,
see.
do you
I
want
don't
to
know.
do
Like cartoon.
I
Maybe
feel like white there works.
maybe Richard could be white and have Peter have
No,
eye color.
I think you have to go full for both
That
of them,
way,
and obviously brown is the correct choice. Sorry to have stopped you.
You can just see how this looks with no.
It was so correct that I didn't notice. I would prefer if you leave the brown in. I didn't
Yeah.
notice. I think I was thinking of that last panel, but it's also
Well,
okay
just
because his eyes
here.
are
I'm not
bugging out.
gonna even. Here, I'm not. I'm not gonna get rid of this. I'm just using a layer mask to kind of eliminate it.
Fair.
So we'll be able to put it right back in, and it's not going anywhere on the layer.
would be another good way to like differentiate between the two.
No, I really think you have to go realistic all the way because it's a style choice. If you go white, it's very cartoony. It should be both cartoony or both more realistic.
It looks very cartoony.
Yeah. So I definitely I vote more realistic for the aspect of the eyes.
Look how.
Yeah, I'm sorry to have stopped you.
Well, you
Yeah.
just gotta put.
Well, he's panicked in that, so we're seeing the whites of his eyes. So I think that one makes sense where it's
Yeah.
like that. Again, sorry for interrupting. I had not even noticed because they'd been white for so long. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry, that.
This is panel 4.
So Logan, I did have a question for you if you're still around, because this is a callback from like
Yeah, I'm here.
a long while ago. Is that at one point you said that you think it's a travesty that the news is funny. Does that sound like something you said? Or is that like an opinion
It
that you
sounds
have?
like something I could have said.
Yeah.
Well, I feel
'Cause-
like it's kind of crazy that nowadays, especially, you can't really discern a lot of modern headlines from an Onion article.
I mean,
And
it's a whole
it's
different
been like
problem.
that for the last like 5 or so years.
I don't think it's comedy writers taking over the regular news writers. I think that what we're living in a clown dimension, and I've already apologized for that, so I won't do it again.
Right, yeah. I, and I've honestly said the words clown dimension to myself a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like, dude, truly a clown dimension. Rated.
So is that what you were
Sorry,
saying that you
she's
like?
sick and
It's
Raiden wants some, so she's got to work for it.
it's a travesty that news itself is so strange that we can't tell the difference between life and parody.
Well, I mean,
Right. That's why it's a travesty to me, because that does sound like a quote that I would have said. And, to elaborate on that, yes, life has become such a farce, especially in America politically, that, the Onion is almost writing real headlines. Like the Onion could
Before
almost
they
report
happen,
real
yeah.
news and it would still be funny.
Yeah, before they happen. Jack, you sound like you have some thoughts on that.
I mean, it's true, and
Unfortunately.
I think we can discern reality. I think we just understand that reality is not. Yeah, I think we understand that reality is not like what is. Like, I think we understand that the news is not reality anymore. I mean, like, it presents things that happened. We understand that things happened, but a lot
Sometimes
of
some news stations.
the way that it's presented and the tone of coverage.
Sometimes some news
with some
stations
news,
not
it's just
mentioned
straight
because
up,
we can't
like,
afford to get
coverage is
sued. Yet
biased.
they just make stuff up.
And news stations don't have to be mentioned by name, but I'm just saying, like, the media is not giving us a sense of reality. Social media is not giving us a sense of reality. We're not getting reality from the news, which I think is bad. I think that is terrible. Because we should, I think in a progressive society, and when I say progressive, I don't mean like politically. I mean, like, in a society that is progressing positively for its people, the people of the society.
Right.
I think you
Okay,
have
that's fair
media that
definition.
is not like, it's not worried about being biased and giving facts, like even moral facts of just like how most people feel about a certain topic.
Most media is owned nowadays.
Yeah.
Media,
And
a lot
by
of the
one
places that you
person.
get your news from, it's all owned by people.
Always been owned by people, though.
Yeah, that is
Right.
true.
But I mean, it's just
And
nowadays, people don't give a shit about what they consume now more than ever. I feel is like people don't give a shit about the credibility of their media.
also the sources have been conglomerated
Yeah.
into one pipeline for the most part, or a couple of pipelines coming from the same place. This moment brought to you by Jack, who is not drinking.
Right. Like it's all cable news or it's all like YouTube videos and other bullshit.
What's going on?
No, I'm sorry. You were
Media is
drinking something,
conglomerated.
and we were talking about media conglomeration.
So we must conglomerate it.
So, in these dire times,
Yeah, I'm
it's
sorry.
always a good
I'm so
time.
sorry, Caleb, but your mic is doing the cutout thing again.
I'm again more than 60 pixels to my screen. Now, the cool thing about my screen when I'm editing is it's very large. After I've been doing that for a number of hours, it's draining. Okay.
Okay. Let's get back to.
So guys, I'll go ahead and make a callback and say they got an MRI this Saturday.
Ooh, that's a callback, isn't it?
Yeah, it surely is.
Isn't it
Surely
at like
is.
9 o'clock at night?
They're only doing it on my wrist though. It's weird. They do my MRI is on a Saturday at 5 p.m. Isn't that
No,
weird as fuck?
5 p.m.
It doesn't have to be, I guess.
But they scheduled my appointment like that. And I was like, okay, that's super fucking weird, but all right. Saturday at 5 o'clock p.m. That'll work for me. You know, like, I'm not doing anything on Saturday at 5 p.m., I guess. I feel like it's a super weird time. I mean, like, I guess I'm getting out of hospital, so it's like, there's gonna be people there to do it. But at the same time, like, what the fuck? What a weird time.
Yeah, usually you would end up at a hospital on a Saturday night, not start your night there.
Right, you know?
Starting at a hospital Saturday night.
It is
That
pretty funny
Another
that
Saturday night, and I got an MRI.
the implication though is that like Cosville thinks that I would start my Saturday night by getting an MRI and then like going bar hopping, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, for contrast.
It's a good bit though. It really is. I like that. It's like, yeah, I gotta go get the I gotta go to my dialysis appointment at 4, but then I'm gonna go to the bar and play pool at 5. Like at 6:30.
Gotta give those dialysis people something to take out of my liver.
Oh, jeez.
I'll tell you what.
Tell you what.
Always saying
I'm
that.
paying all
I'm
this, I'm paying all
always
this money
saying
for this
that.
damn dialysis. I better give them bitches something to filter.
Right.
Yeah.
What a grim but funny outlook.
So, apparently you can make vodka out of a diabetic's urine if you strain it enough.
Yes.
Ooh, wow.
Fun fact: a diabetic's urine contains enough sugar content. Yes, to be able to they can pee on rice and you can make vodka with it.
Wow.
So just
Yes.
know, yeah,
So,
Aaron,
so,
you
so if I did it, that would be a mead.
yeah, Aaron,
Wonderful.
you're gonna be very valuable in the apocalypse as long as you live.
Finally,
You're
I've been
diabetic.
wondering what the heck I would
Shackle
do.
him. We
Right.
need the pee
Bottle the pee.
so we can drink.
Be on your rice. I had nothing else to be on, so
I say vodka because I feel like those would be the two easiest things to make as far as liquors goes in post-apocalypse.
You have other things to pee on, dude. You have
Also,
everything else to pee on.
Yeah, anything else, dude.
Anything else. Anything else.
Yeah. You do not have to be a slave and pee on some grapes.
Okay, so I seem to be back on.
Behooved me.
You're like, I said it with applause, and I was like, okay, do you want me to speak with applause? I would be like,
Aplomb. Aplomb. I said it with aplomb. I said it with Southern lawyer aplomb. Sorry.
Ooh, can we do a crossover episode with Foghorn?
I mean,
I say, boy.
I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
see, Foghorn is like,
Dude, Foghorn like
too over the top.
is.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my god, that's fucking awesome. We can write that, I think.
Might be hard getting the
We
licensing
can write
for Foghorn. Like,
a defense lawyer. He's defending the bulldog that like got lured out of his doghouse by Tom when he was trying to chase Jerry.
it does tie in three of our storylines.
I'm saying, no honor. My client had. Have you told Cosby how excited I am about Purgatory?
Yeah, you missed the writing
How excited I
meeting
am to-
where we referenced that Purgatory was going to exist on the show.
I'm so excited to just record and like just voice like the Purgatory bit with Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely because
Well,
we
not for the people who were there, but for us, the viewer.
Right, yeah, like for us the viewer, like, yeah, it's funny because Purgatory exists.
right.
Purgatory with 2 R's.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna put extra R's in it to make sure that they were used.
Purgatory, I get it.
Also, we want to bring Duke back as an angel dog.
Like, I think, to be a creator on this show, you have to own a book of puns. Like, I think we all, have to, get a book of puns. And, do all of the raunchy ones.
Or be a
Nah,
book
man,
of
I don't
puns.
own one. I'm just here with it.
Yeah,
Just with
exactly.
it, yeah,
Right.
that's so fucking
And you just
Let's
open
be
your
the book of
eyes.
puns.
Yeah, and be the book
Exactly.
of puns.
Cosby will know it.
Yeah,
That's
he's.
so fucking raw.
Well, no, you just have to be full of you have to be witty enough to just make a pun out of anything that's said.
Yeah, not all heroes wear capes.
Lunch table, dog.
Puns.
It was all roasting people, and I just had to look at people and just be like, all right, your haircut's stupid, your shirt is dumb, why is your backpack that color? And I would have to go with that. And
None of those are puns.
I know, but you had to make them funny.
Right.
That's why everyday speech is pretty easy.
Gotcha. I know what you mean. I remember growing up, people made fun of anyone that used puns as a joke mechanism. Puns were not popular in Springfield, Illinois in the 1980s and 90s.
Puns, one-liners are one of the best forms of humor.
I would agree.
Everyone of all time was spoken by Rodney Dangerfield. He said, I went to the bar the other night. I was feeling lonely. I went to the bar. He said, surprise me. He showed me a picture of my wife. I like that. A joke that he said in a breath. It's shot for shot. You just keep you rolling like that. And Dangerfield could do it. And that was one of the reasons I respect him, is because he could keep you rolling just in very short, sentences almost. He could just say things and just make you laugh. It's respectable.
It is respectable. A lot of people like Dangerfield. I was more of a Carlin fan. I was a pretty huge Carlin fan.
Harlan was good. Kinnison was good. If you look past some of the racist shit, Richard Pryor was pretty good. Chris Rock was pretty good. I mean, dude, there's a lot of people, that I look up to just as far as like being able to make jokes and make people laugh like they did. Like Kinnison is honestly one of my more main influences as far as like wanting to make people laugh. Because Kinnison would just say things, but say things loud and say things funny. And I got told, I've been told by people like it's not that you say funny things, it's that you say things funny. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. That's a pretty decent compliment.
Yeah, that's definitely a comic trick for sure. You can have the exact same ideas, and that's the thing is that you have the exact same ideas as other people, but it's the way you say it that makes them laugh at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, shout out to Mark Phillip, who I got to watch over the last couple of days, who's going to be coming and playing a character for us. Shout out to him on air, because I watched his whole stand-up set. 50 minutes, I was enthralled. It was so funny because he just kept making me laugh. I did post that in the general discussion if you guys are interested. Check it out.
I was there. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, featuring Aaron
I had not
Cosby.
watched it yet, but I do plan on it.
Yeah, very funny guy, great voice, great personality. I think that he'll fit right in with the Cockney Space crew. So good catch, Aaron Cosby.
But I guess,
Yeah.
but I guess, Skip, I guess I'll fit in maybe like another 10-second ad read. I don't know if this podcast will be released by the time the 14th comes around.
Okay.
But guys, if we can get an audience for, like anybody who wants to tune in for the read through on the 14th can, we're gonna have about 8 or 9 readers of the roles that we have. So I don't think there's gonna be anybody playing the same, doing the same voice twice or anything like that. So, it's going to be a pretty dynamic read through if you guys wanted to tune into that. I guess, again, I'm not sure if this podcast is going to be released by the time we do the read through, but it's going to be a pretty dynamic read through if anybody can tune into it and watch it happen. I'm excited for it personally.
Yeah, basically, if you're not in the Discord at this moment, which you're not, because we see that it's just the 4 of us here in this Discord. Oh, if you watch this on YouTube, it is too late,
Right.
so you guys have missed out on it. But you can see it. It's going to be posted up on YouTube. I was counting
it's me.
myself.
The read through
Yeah.
the read through will be recorded, will it not, Skipper?
Yeah, well, and then I'm going to be going back through it because it's going to be a dynamic read through, fixing the audio and then getting sound effects and some of Chandler's music in there too, so that it becomes more of an official episode feel, so that people who are wondering what we're up to can hear it, especially since we have all those voices. Okay. Well,
And did we want a live, like an audience in the Discord, or do we want to?
I thought
that was
Discord.
the idea.
Well,
ultimately.
we're up on a Discord, and it's always invited for people to come and hang out and listen to what's going on. Um, we're not very popular right now, and that might be a shock to people who are listening in the future, but we're not very
I'm
very
just saying I
popular.
could post on Facebook or post on, post at least in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't get picked for a part for this episode, they could come hang out and listen.
Yeah,
Um,
100%. That'd be a good opportunity for it. It is going to be on Monday, the 14th. So yeah, let people
Yeah.
know if that's the case, because they won't from here. But yeah, that's it. I mean, we are on Discord for that reason, that you can come and watch Jack draw, you can watch Chandler compose, you can hang out with Flaking with Frank. It's gonna be starting this Friday, and interact with guests if you want to, or just listen live. So that's always an invitation.
all right, cool.
So if you want to get connected with that, you can go to coxinspace.com, coxinspace.com, and get connected with the Discord there or our Patreon. The Facebook I meant to put up this weekend, but I will be putting that up so people can get connected with that for anyone who's interested in getting cast along with this project. So, Aaron, in your opinion,
Space. I'm sorry.
do you believe that we stay the same person our entire lives, or do you think people change throughout the years?
I think it's pretty well proven people do. I mean, we're not the babies that we were when we were born.
Okay, so again, there's an
I'm
argument
not the
for
baby.
for physical change and some mental
Aren't we though?
adaptation. Um,
Are you
I
not the same person, you know? Are you not the same child who has who still has the same wonder in their eyes and the same
Well,
artfulness in their soul that you did when you were a child?
they say that you can know a person's political affiliation by the time that they're 8 years old. So
I would
I
agree.
think that there are some things that do get like sort of locked in, our morals and our our perspective on the world, really. Our inner like monologue or prism or however you want to think about it, that kind of focuses outside stimuli into a understandable stream of information. Like I think that's pretty well formed by the time that you are in adolescence and won't change too much. Though some things can't change it. I think we have the idea of who we want to be pretty well locked in, and that does. I don't think that changes too much. What am I looking for?
Okay, and so that's from Jack. But Aaron, what do you think? Because I feel like your opinion is probably different than that.
Probably, yeah. So, like, I feel there are 4 parts that form throughout, like, when you're a kid and your adolescence. Like, you maintain the you that is choosing to do certain things or choosing what opinions to have in the moment that information is recalled or given. But it's always, there is like a core you that doesn't change. Like, you can change your mind, but I don't know that it changes the core of you. I feel like there's something innately Aaron about me, something that I will continue to be, and I have always been.
Right. Yeah. So one of the things for me is that it always feels like I've always been the same age, and that's because like my personality is has been ageless, even though it's gone through different versions of my body. That's just a personal perspective. I can't speak for anyone else on that. Logan,
I
thoughts?
could say the same thing, Skip, where it's like every morning I wake up, I still feel like I'm 18 years old, and I'm just in an older body. It's like I'm still the same person that I've been for a while now. Like I've changed, of course, but it's like like my ideals, my morals have changed, but I'm still the same person with the same personality that I was, you know, 10 or 15 years ago. I just, like I said, I might value different things, but ultimately, like I still think the same things are funny. Like I'm not, you know, I'm not very much a different person from the person I was, 10 or 15 years ago, and I feel that.
For me,
I
it's younger. When I was 10, I did a character study of like the sort of person I would want to be when I was growing up. And so I did a lot of research. I went online. I looked up Code of Chivalry, Art of Courtly Love, because I knew eventually I'd like girls.
Val Kilmer.
What? Val Kilmer? Yeah, he was a good Batman. Yeah, and so like I still feel like the person I chose to be when I was 10, but with extra steps as I learned more about the world. And
So then I guess we're kind of saying what Jack was saying was that about the eight-year-old, 10-year-old, we've made some decisions kind of just based off of what we are surrounded by, what options we have, and that becomes kind of who we are.
yeah, I mean, you're sort of just like you are forming, but sort of like making scrambled eggs. Like eventually you go from liquid eggs to scrambled eggs.
And the eggs in this metaphor is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Here, actually, can we indulge ourselves here for a second?
Oh,
Because
we take an
can we
ad
indulge
break to
me?
try to draw out our weed sponsors. Because guys, I know there's a lot of like weed products that you would like to have us shill for you, and we would be happy to try them and shill them for you. So as
Yeah, we
we
are
take
happy
a
to do
weed
that.
break, we're also taking an ad break.
Yeah, I will go ahead and say that this ad break is sponsored to you by
Company redacted.
I have had a prescription for 2 years.
Company redacted.
For 2 years, they have excellent products.
Are they paying you? Logan, have you been holding out on us? They
Company redacted.
they're giving you a
They're not
sponsorship?
paying me, but I will say,
I, I,
that for the last like couple of years, I've used a lot of products, and not a lot of them have disappointed.
oh my God, I'm
So,
totally doing this as a bit. So every time you say the word,
Company redacted.
I'm actually gonna bleep it out. Nobody will know what we're talking about. And then I'm just
That's
used the
pretty
bit is that if you want to put your name in where he's been bleeped out in this last bit, then you could pay us, get us some products, and
Yeah, you
help out
absolutely.
everyone but Cosbill.
If you want your product name placed into that particular bleep, send us a DM. Get at us on the Discord, get at us on the Patreon. Let us know. We can
Actually,
support your product just as well.
I'm gonna do the bit where you say the words company redacted because we actually have audio of you saying that. So it's gonna be like company redacted. Yeah. So this is funny because this is us hearing it for the first time, but people will have just gone right through it right there. So
developed in the 20th century that take a radically different
anyway.
approach to questions of the mental and the physical.
So yeah, that's cool. I think that we all kind of did agree with that. Like there's one point where uh our personality is more like primordial, but then we start making choices and having preferences and whatnot, and that forms, and then we kind of solidify into who we are. But on top of that, we still add stuff to this base that we build off of. Now, I think with great effort, people can go back and rework some of that stuff because definitely people who have gone through trauma, I've seen them find relief from that and not be going through that trauma anymore by like strong personal dedicated like rewiring those parts of their brains. Um, so I think it's possible for people to change their personalities.
Oh,
But
yeah, absolutely.
there's a lot of
Or
stuff that
revert.
this
Like
some people
Or
will
reverse
snap back to it.
is a
which
very
honestly I
poignant point.
like I like a lot of my different past selves. So like if I'm gonna choose to change, I'll just you know like gosh, what do they call it when you're on your computer and it's sort of like reverting
Avatars,
back to
avatars,
what
avatars.
avatars?
Isn't that what you mean? When you're changing your identity from one website to another
No, no,
website?
no,
Oh,
no.
he says no, no.
Like when your current version is corrupted, so you go back to a time when your computer wasn't corrupted.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's actually following the train of thought you were having. Not a reset,
Because that's what I like to do.
a power wash.
I
Oh,
don't,
right. So you're like, oh, I've become a corrupted version of myself. I have to go back to an earlier version where I did feel wholesome.
exactly.
I
Yes,
mean,
can I ask you to listen to a part of something about what we're talking about here, the consciousness, like how we come to know who we are
hell
and
yeah,
getting
this is
our
Drawing with Jack. Hopefully, this will not get copyrighted. If not, we'll just do it on our Patreon with us. So,
I
my
was gonna
guy,
make the joke like, Jack, is this gonna get us copyright stricken again?
oh, you're right,
if
maybe
it
it
does,
will.
whatever, we just cut it out and whatever. It's not. I'm interested when you have to play. Let's
I
hear it, bro.
mean, it'll be a reason for the people on the Patreon to
Yeah,
listen.
Exactly.
for
You know,
sure,
like
for sure.
there's always a reason for the people on Patreon to tune in to see the blocked content because YouTube wants to be some.
Psychological and a philosophical guise. That's behaviorism. One is an approach that has risen to prominence in only the last 25 years or so. In many ways, as a development out of behaviorism, a functionalist approach to mind. Philosophical research is always a matter of argument and counterargument. It thrives on conceptual controversy. Within continuing controversy, however, functionalism is currently the dominant theory in philosophy of mind. In this lecture, I want to try to explain why. I want to show you the appeal of a functional approach to mind. What these approaches offer is another route out of dualism, and out of monism too, for that matter. From the beginning, the debate's been defined as a debate about the basic stuff of the universe. Descartes divided the universe into two types of substance. Monists, whether idealists or materialists, seem to concede that the central questions at issue are questions about basic substance, or stuff. The debate between materialists and idealists is just over which kind of stuff is the stuff. The question is what kind of stuff mental states are made of, for example. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's dead wrong. The world contains beautiful things, and inspiring things, and graceful, and solid, and loving things. Why think the difference between them are in any important way a matter of stuff? Consider an example that I used at the end of lecture 2. Hold up your right hand and make a fist. Now there are clearly two different things here. We know they are different because different things are true of them. Open your hand and you still have a hand, but you no longer have a fist. But the stuff of your hand and the stuff of your fist are exactly the same. The difference between those isn't a matter of constituent stuff. To understand what a fist is, you have to understand something radically different than the stuff it's made of. And maybe the same is true of minds. In previous lectures, I've outlined a number of arguments against dualism and against the inner theater. There's another argument against both of these that we haven't yet broached. It's an argument that was historically crucial in changing the character of the entire debate.
Do I need to have seen the first two to understand this one?
Well, that's what I was just about to stop, because when he's talking about dualism and monism, he's talking about the Cartesian insight where, we basically think that there's two different kinds of things. Like there are the things that are
Okay, Jack, so
souls, and then there's the things that make up.
I do like what he said about how two different objects can be made out of the same thing. Like a hand and a fist. There's a lot of profundity just in that statement where it's the same matter can make up two different things based on not only the context but the use behind it. That's profound. I like that.
Yeah, it is a deep insight into how we, it's our ontology, how we come to know things. Some things we come to know because we just have an understanding about what it's
And from what I understood,
totalities.
about where he was going like not only to talk about it, he was going to like expound upon that about like matter.
Well, because
That
he's
sounds like
talking about,
fun.
because he's talking about the differences between the different camps of what a human mind is made of. Like behavioralists think that your mind is made of literally just like a bunch of learned reactions. And
I thought about that from a physics aspect. I apologize. From a physics and chemical aspect. So I apologize, but I was like, dude, that's profound. That's amazing. But also, like, yeah, from a different point of view, yes, it still is profound and amazing. But what is that you had to say about it?
Well, he's going to go into what functionalism and like behaviorists have to say about like what stuff is made out of, and there are like interesting like points. We don't have to listen to all of it, but one of the main points is like functionalists believe that your mind is like basically the makeup of your brain ultimately. Like if we could like remake your brain, we would have a second your mind as well.
Yeah, right. The physiology is
functionalist
the personality.
Yeah. Meaning any changes that happen to your mind ultimately have to redound to functional like outcomes, because that's what makes up what your mind is. So, the question that you're asking about whether or not we change or not is impacted by these people having these arguments about whether or not your mind is, a bunch of learned behaviors that are just, firing inside of your neurons, interacting with weird Cartesian, non-tangible mental shit, or functional like mechanisms, chemical mechanisms that ultimately decide that we have no free will, all this other stuff. But anyway, yeah.
I'm referring to Wittgenstein's private language argument. Ludwig Wittgenstein was an amazing philosopher with an astounding personal history. He was born in 1889, the last child of 8 in one of the richest families in Austria. It was an extremely rich family and very much involved in the arts. Brahms was a frequent evening guest, for example. Ludwig's brother Paul became a prominent pianist, despite the fact that he lost an arm in World War I.
Wow.
It was for Paul Wittgenstein that Ravel wrote the piano concerto for the left hand.
Just the left
Wittgensteins were patrons of the visual arts as well as music.
Just
One of the most often reproduced paintings by Gustav Klimt is a portrait of Wittgenstein's sister Margaret. So Wittgenstein's background is one of wealth, the arts, and depression. 3 of his brothers eventually committed suicide. Wittgenstein's brooding intensity was legendary, but may also have reflected a deliberate cultivation of the cult of his own genius. Wittgenstein writes in aphorisms, metaphors, and philosophical suggestions. He argues with himself in different voices. That's a style that charms his devotees and annoys his detractors no end. All indications are that Wittgenstein's charisma was irresistible and perhaps dangerous. That charisma infected several generations of British philosophers. Throughout their later careers, his students carried Wittgenstein's mannerisms. They even carried his accent. Wittgenstein's philosophical work is remarkable because it consists of 2 radically different periods. The first was the period of the Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus, stimulated by Bertrand Russell, published in the 1920s.
If we don't stop soon, I'm afraid this whole podcast might get short.
It's true. Okay, that's fine. We'll stop.
No,
there's like some interesting stuff in there where he talks about.
No, absolutely. And you dropped a few links where like it's been some interesting stuff. Like I remember there was a different professor you had dropped one on, and I was like history. I think wasn't he like an anthropology professor or something like that? You had dropped one on us one time that was pretty good too.
Yeah, we've definitely hit some good good lectures.
I wish I had like a highlights reel. again, Caleb is just like coming through in like bits and spurts.
Yeah, no, it's like good stuff for sure. You know, because you're not gonna hear it anywhere else. This is curated specifically by Jack Haynes, our artist, and what he's been listening to recently. So, you know, if you want to be in the know about what that is, check in on my Discord because it doesn't always make it to YouTube. I think that lecture probably will, but perhaps he has you know, a privacy
This is one of the
clause.
main reasons that you should listen live. Is the fact that you'll get all the uncut content as it happens live.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's true.
That's why I was glad to be front row seats to the Wrestling is Fake episode. Again, I believe that it's been pretty much cut out for YouTube. It is on my Patreon, but it's a really fantastic show that you guys had.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of raucous
Oh yeah,
energy.
Caleb,
So
Caleb and I were speaking before the episode happened.
you call it what now?
Caleb and I were speaking before the episode happened, and he told me he was reviewing that episode, Jack, and he was like, "You guys made me believe in wrestling." I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" Like I said, like you know, it's real deal shit.
That's what we love to hear.
Yeah, no, I definitely,
Yeah.
and I definitely want, you know, like hear some commentary below from the wrestling fans.
The outcomes are predetermined. Yeah, sure. But
No, man, but like, no, they're doing some shit.
yeah, man.
Acrobatics. I mean, there's one
For the
clip I
wrestling
think that
fans, y'all,
I sent you that like a guy
if
does
no
a
one else is in
backflip out
here,
of the ring and then up the hallway. And he does like 9 or 10 backflips.
yeah, he just. But also to land the backflip out of the ring and then continue that into 6 more backflips, you
Yeah.
can't act like that doesn't take talent. Fuck
Yeah.
you, wrestling's fake.
Right.
Like that
The,
dude
the
did
level,
that.
the level of
That dude-
athleticism is
Right,
is
you know,
high,
like-
you know.
Fuck wrestling's fake. I don't. You get hit with a chair.
Logan, you know what I heard though?
You get
Is
put through a table.
also
This is like the
they
video
I
of
found out that movies are also fake. Did you know that? Like Star
I'm
Wars
sorry,
isn't real either.
I don't want to get mad about it.
Dude,
What?
no, you didn't just
No,
say
No,
that.
it is really. It happened a long
You did
time
not.
ago. Must be far, far away.
Oh,
You did not
okay.
just say that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It is real. They transferred the footage to us from the galaxy long ago.
It
Far,
just
far away.
happened
This
again
is
in
live
Galaxy
footage
far,
that we're
far
seeing.
away.
It's a
Matt.
documentary. Everybody knows it. That's the last word. It's a documentary. We all
Everybody's
know.
up in arms
It's
in the
okay.
Star Wars
You don't have
fandom.
to
Up in here.
think about it.
We don't play games. You might
Dude,
believe that
Kate-
wrestling is fake, but
Imagine
Star
if
Wars.
kayfabe-
Fake. It's
No,
fake.
that's not fake. I can see them doing it. It's not
Right.
AI.
But I was gonna say, like,
Right,
imagine
obviously,
if
I've
kayfabe
witnessed it.
existed in every fandom, where it's like, yeah, Warcraft is real. There's orcs, and there's, they exist, but they're in another place. Like kayfabe. Imagine if kayfabe was in every fandom, and everyone believed that everything that they saw in fantasy was real.
Right, and there's some people that do, and also, I
No.
mean, the same way that wrestling is totally real, because you want to believe it's real. Vince McMahon said it was the easiest story to
Right.
tell, right? It's
This is
just
the
the little guy gets beat up by the big guy, the little guy comes out on top.
Right. That's the ideal, that's how you get interested.
Yeah, that's right.
You see a little guy getting bullied, the little guy comes out over the big guy, and you're like, oh, fuck. If they're going to meet again, I'd pay tickets to see that and wrestling.
Right,
You
right.
know?
Yeah.
And wrestling.
So, I mean, it's a good formula. It works. So you can't even fault him for it. Everything else you can fault him for, of course, because Jesus Christ, man, how can you like take advantage of people that much? And again, that's just capitalism at its worst. Like he's making so much money, and I get that he has overhead, but on top of the percentage that he takes, he should be paying his actors equal to the amount of the success that he is. because goddamn, then he would want to take care of them
Oh yeah, I mean,
because they would be assets to him that he
as
couldn't
far as
just
I
throw
know, the
away
pay
once they
dynamic
fell
has
into the
gotten a
ring
lot
because they weren't
better.
safe.
I was gonna say as far as I know, the pay dynamic has gotten a lot better in professional wrestling, but that's also due to like AEW, which if you're the Cornette school of thought, is essentially a guy whose dad owns a football team and multiple corporations gave him enough money to run a wrestling organization. That's essentially what it is because it's everything is hardcore matches, nothing has any meaning. Um. Anyway, this isn't a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, but how can you? I mean, how can
You've already.
WWE even compare to UFC? You know what I'm saying? Because what you get in UFC is
So,
actual good fighting,
and to be honest with you,
and extreme.
right, and I get that, but for the last, I think, 2 or 3 years now, the same company has owned both entities. Did you know that?
It makes sense. I mean,
Dana
like
White no
get
longer
both your
owns the
markets, which is all
UFC,
the markets.
and Vince McMahon no longer owns the WWE. They're both owned by the same corporate entity. So,
Jack, do you see your
and
boobs?
I think that should try to do more Brock Lesnar type crossovers. If you ask me, the reason that they brought that is because they saw what Brock Lesnar did and they saw the legitimacy, I think, personally, that Brock Lesnar brought to wrestling as being like an actual badass, like, because let's be honest, dude, Brock Lesnar, before he even got into, the WWE, he was a legitimate gold medal, like, collegiate wrestler. The dude was a dog.
Wow.
And not to mention a genetic freak, like six, like I don't even know what his body stats are. Like, he's like 6'5", 270 or some shit. Like he's a fucking freak. He's huge.
I have a wrestling question.
All right.
Sure.
So, when Owen Hart died, did they call the Undertaker?
Oh, jeez.
Too soon.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Still
dude.
too soon. But
Even Jack said
you
too
nailed
soon. I
it.
mean, so Cosmo, I'm not gonna lie, that was an excellent joke. But I'll be honest with you, Owen
Okay.
Hart's death is a very sensitive topic.
Extremely sensitive for sure.
Owen Hart's death is a really sensitive topic in the wrestling community
Yeah,
because a lot of people
that's probably one of those dark
don't
jokes you
think
tuck
he should
away.
have even done that spot in the first place.
Yeah, he was kind of like not coerced, but like led falsely to believe that he was safe and doing it, when
Yeah,
he was not at all. And
right.
yeah,
Because he
it's
doesn't care. And
Cosby, I'll put it to you like this: if I wasn't into as wrestling as I am, and I just knew names, I'd have laughed at that.
Well, that's all I know is names. So,
yeah, but
I know
like
he died.
a
Yes,
whole
That's about
bunch of
it.
people witnessed
I
that
would have
happen,
laughed
right?
at that. If all I knew was names and nothing else, I would have
And,
laughed at that. But
and
like
then,
seeing like
at
the
least
actual scenario,
yeah.
it was pretty fucked up. Because
did
I
he
think it
provide
was
the tombstone?
Yeah. I
God
mean,
damn.
it's like it would be like
I think
talking about Jesus to people that were like at like a baptism in a river, like hardcore Christians. If you were like, so when Jesus was, blah blah blah, did they
Jesus was
call,
murdered.
an ambulance?
Uh,
Like, like that's how people, feel like Owen Hart's death was one of the most tragic things that ever happened, I would say.
yeah,
Like,
the
because it
weird
happened on
thing,
live TV too, which was one of the fucked up parts. Like it happened during a pay-per-view that they were filming live.
did they get their
So
money back from because they didn't get
no.
to
no,
see
unfortunately,
from
no.
the
The
pay per
people
view?
it was blacked out for a lot of the people who ended up getting pay-per-view because what it was, Owen Hart was supposed to make a reveal as this bit that he was doing called the Blue Blazer. So the blue blazer was supposed to drop down from the top, much like Sting. You remember Sting? I mean, I guess,
That's Frodo's sword.
The
if you don't
80s
remember
musician?
wrestling, you don't remember Sting.
Okay,
But
gotcha. No.
He wasn't in the Sega Genesis games. I don't know.
So Sting would come down from the light rigging with a bat.
That is true.
Like that was just like a
And
thing
that's
that
what
he
I
would
call
do.
Sting.
Essentially,
You could,
kind of, yeah.
you
He
could say
would
that.
he would
You could
pull
say
that
that.
Oh,
he would
goddamn
pull that
Batman.
shit. Yes, absolutely. Where like they would the cameras would find him up in the rafters and just be like, "Oh God, there's Sting out there in the rafters. He's got the bat over his shoulder. Who's he targeting tonight?" Like yeah,
At least he went on to have a great music career, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not crazy about the Police, but Sting's solo career was okay, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Less rapey and pedophile. There's some weird stalker songs. The Police is definitely questionable band on music, and the whole
No, wait,
Lolita.
There's the Sting song, "I'll Be Watching You." That's pretty creepy.
Oh,
wait a
I'm
minute.
sorry. Yeah,
And
no, maybe it was actually better
I
for him
feel
to
like we
be
put a
with the
stop
Police.
right here.
Yeah, I'll be watching you. Yeah, also, uh, standing so close to me, uh, is definitely
Some
a
pretty
I'll be
good
very.
songs.
watching you, the song by the Police. Isn't that crazy?
Is it the Police or is it Sting?
But no, can we talk about how popular statutory rape was in 80s music?
I would rather
I
not,
mean,
I
but
mean,
I
it
mean,
still
it
still,
was
is.
there.
yeah, it's still popular.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's gone out of the
I mean, I
entertainment business.
remember Jerry Seinfeld confronting Paul McCartney at Obama's like press conference dinner. Like,
Jerry Seinfeld,
she
who
was
had the
just 17.
16-year-old
Do you know what I
girlfriend,
mean? What do you mean, Paul McCartney?
and then
Well, no, literally.
Paul was like, "Oh
Have you
yeah,
guys ever
here's what
heard
I mean," and
17
then
by
Jerry was like,
Winger?
"Oh yeah, I do. I think that's cool too." Sorry, what?
Oh, yeah, that's a picture of
Yeah,
me with a teenager. Oh shit, I'm Jerry Seinfeld. What am I doing?
Yeah,
yeah.
Seinfeld
But
dated,
no,
yeah,
literally,
dated
like,
a
have you guys
woman
ever heard
for
17 by Winger?
by Winger.
Very famously, a teenager. Picked her up at high school.
Oh yeah.
17, yeah, yeah, Skipper. I think you might have been the only one that heard me. The song 17 by the band Winger.
So yeah, all
That
this
is one of the
is
most heinous songs I've ever heard in my entire life. But it's
all
got a
this
pretty
this is
sick
adding
guitar
up to
solo, so
like
like I said, let it go in the 80s.
we as a podcast and as a form of entertainment do not condone that sort of behavior. Even 18-year-olds, like they do have the ability to
Yeah.
choose at that point, but you have to recognize they're super young. So even if you're 40 and picking up 18-year-olds, it's still weird. So just you know,
We are not Winger
Beyond
fans.
weird.
the whole
Beyond
thing is
weird.
about power dynamics, and
It's
that's
not.
just if you're a rock star and you have your choice of women and you're
It's
picking
not
up
morally okay.
teenagers, like stop. Like I know historically it's been going on, right? Historically,
Yeah.
as young as they can have children, sometimes women were used just for that. But we are a culture that's growing and maturing, and like let kids be kids. Um, that is because you only get to do it once. Like the
Well,
innocence of childhood, don't let them
well,
lose that.
yeah,
So they can deal with the complexities the rest of their adult life, which
Yeah.
is. But why would you rush them?
So
yeah.
like I
Don't
was
justify, improper power balances and fucking relationships. Sorry, Logan.
no, I was just gonna say like I was raised, like I was expecting for the world to be cruel and evil and unforgiving.
Hmm.
I wasn't
Yeah.
ready to be, for the world to also be not only stupid and cruel and unforgiving, but sorry, stupid, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I mean, it goes back to the Sound of Music, even.
How do you
You
mean?
are 16 going on 17. He might have been like 17 going on 18. I don't remember. And that would be okay, I guess.
Yeah, kids being kids
But that
is
also goes to say,
fine,
like, there's a certain age that you realize that this world is against you.
He
but
did then
like,
turn out to be a Nazi, so
yeah, maybe that's not the
Nazis.
best place for advice. I'm sure that wasn't the reference you were trying to make. Hey, let me switch topic to something that's not so
That could be
uncomfortable
one of
for
the best
me and
advice I
everyone
could
else in
give
the audience.
to.
If your pet had to have a job, like if Anubis had to go get work tomorrow, Aaron Cosville, what job do you think that he would have?
um, honestly, he's kind of like he's a pretty big security type dog.
Okay.
He would probably go into like a Kroger security thing. Not something where he'd actually have to hurt anybody, but like
He would
look
watch for
like he's
shoplifters.
threatening. Uh,
Okay.
Kroger security.
Kroger
yeah,
security.
like not actually do anything, but like look like he does. So
Do
he
do
could
you
still
think
like be happy and loving, but also like do the job that he looks like he'd be good for. Um,
d would he be like part-time, full-time? How much do you think he could handle of that?
uh, 32 hours, so that would be technically full time,
Okay,
but not
okay.
actually full time.
Yeah, not enough to get benefits in America, but enough to bring in some money that we should be able to buy our own. So yeah, I think it's good. Maybe he should get a job. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Now, Jack, you have Clarice. Cl it's a pretty name. Your cat has a
I have
pretty name.
what?
What's your cat's name? It's pretty.
Oh, Siobhan.
Siobhan, that's right. She has
Siobhan!
such a pretty name. What job would
I
she
love
have
that.
to have if she had to go get a job right now? What do you think she would be capable of doing?
Um, she is a very like alpha cat. She's
Oh,
like very much a like bully and a you know like like a fighter. So she would probably go uh either the same security route somewhere that
okay.
might see action, or she would probably become a cop. I think
So she would.
like it as a cop.
You think Siobhan would go like try to get a badge?
I mean,
Is
I
she
think she
is
would
she that
want. I think she
insecure?
would want to like. She would want to get a job where she could like, get into a fight for sure.
Like her goal is to get into a fight. Okay,
For
yeah,
sure.
then yes.
I've heard the name Siobhan before.
What an
Um.
awesome take. What an awesome take is like she'd want to get a job where she'd want to fight.
Yeah, she would.
Cop,
Fuck her for that. She's an asshole.
right?
Um.
And it's just funny because like neither of both my dogs are puddins.
Yeah.
And I guess skip the question comes to me next.
Yeah, yeah.
So Raven and Zephyr are both purebred Labradors, and they've had some of their bloodline go on to be police dogs and bird dogs and all that. But unfortunately, both of these dogs were raised as pleasure/comfort dogs.
They're good dogs.
They can do things for you. They like to be loved. Zephyr, all he wants is to be loved. Zephyr is a companion dog, if you ask me.
So they're
Zephyr,
yes for
absolutely, yeah.
Mhm.
If you wanted a dog to hold for a little while, you give Raven a couple treats and she'll sit there and let you sit there and snuggle her and pet her. Oh yeah,
So
I
wait, are
bet you.
you saying that they would be on like an app of like cuddle companions or something like that?
Companion.
I mean,
Saying
it's
companion
basically
dogs in
like
general.
doggy OnlyFans.
Well, no, like companion dogs in general, like they're intelligent, and they can do things for you, but also like I mean, like, especially Zephyr. Raven is food motivated. You can get Raven to do anything if you have a treat in your hand. She's
Hmm.
smart enough to do it. But Zephyr, you gotta have a treat and then you gotta give him some love. And like Zephyr wants to be touched. So like that's why I say like Raven might be more of like a police dog or like a companion or a service dog, whereas Zephyr is more of like, you know, comfort animal.
Okay, so you would make sure that I mean you think that they would get dog jobs. Now, Aaron, when you're saying that there was a dog at Kroger, you're saying that they would be like a police officer actually, right? Like a security officer, like not the dog of a security officer. Is that
No, one
right?
of those fake security officers that can't actually do anything.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. And then
Uh,
same thing. Okay, yeah, because I was thinking more humanoid too. Like, okay, but you're like, no, they're gonna work. They would work as dogs because they're good at already at dog jobs. Which cool. Okay, so they make their money, make their bread. See, my orange boy, I think he would run like either a taco truck or a hot dog stand, where he just like chills in like a public spot, and people like ask him for a hot dog, and he pulls it out of like a pot of boiling water and puts like mustard, offers it with mustard or ketchup. He just chills with them while they make their hot dog. That's what my orange boy would do. And
Hell yeah.
Cutie, she's super like on the case. So I think that she would be drawn towards like either insurance fraud or like detective work because she likes to like get down to the bottom of stuff and she's very very meticulous. So like she digs through paperwork and loves to dig through paper. That's what I'm thinking. Like she'd work for the IRS for like insurance fraud and stuff like that. And like yeah, a tax investigator. That's probably what she would do if she was gonna have to get good work. So anyway, do we miss anybody's cats and dogs or any pets? Okay.
oh, Jack, what's your cat's name? What's your cat's named after?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I mean, not anything like specific or any
Okay.
character specific. Just like I, there's like Irish heritage in my family from my father's side. So I like looked up Irish stuff before, and I remember when I heard the name Siobhan, I can't remember where I heard it, but when I heard it, I was like, "That's a really like
So
wonderful
it's the
name."
Irish spelling of that? Okay.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
No,
Nice.
it sounded like
With the
there's
extra
a
letters.
magic card called Magic the Gathering called Substitute Dragon. So I was like, oh. Uh, or Siobhan VR Troopers or something. Uh,
Saban Entertainment was definitely a part of my childhood for sure. I don't know if I watched VR Troopers. I definitely watched the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but
yeah.
Those
Did they also do
Power
Force? I can't
Rangers.
remember.
It was interesting how much they tried to like just repackage the same idea around the same time. It wasn't a reboot. It was just they were on in different time slots. Hey guys, just so you know, we're in the last 20 minutes or so. So if you have your deep thoughts or hot takes or plugs that you want to make, like now is definitely the time that we can do that. Crack some more jokes. Um, the artwork,
time
of
for
course, is looking
plugs.
great. Jack, you've been doing the thing that I just one of the things I love about the artwork is where you're doing lights and shadows, where it's like bouncing off of their beaks and stuff like that. Like it's just fun and very cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of necessary for the feeling of fullness and volumes that gets on these shadows in here. So I'll try to get some more before the time's up.
Yeah, yeah, that is awesome.
No?
Um, yeah, no, we still have plenty of time to do all that. I was just giving the shout out for that in case anyone had any thoughts. Aaron, of course, has a show coming up, which this podcast is going to come out before that happens. It's August 1st.
Yeah, let's
Um,
promote some shows, Mr. Cosby.
Yeah, it's
August
at
1st, I'm headlining at Crackpot's Comedy Club in Massillon, Ohio.
Okay.
Let's
And
go.
tickets
At
are
9:30
available.
p.m.
Me
So and
personally, I'm sorry, I was just gonna say, me personally, as a resident of Louisiana, I have not been able to see Mr. Aaron Cosbill's comedy live. I've heard great things about it. He's a wonderful, clean comedian. And if y'all happen to be around a certain town that he had mentioned in Ohio, I don't remember which one. Which one was that, Cosbill?
It's called Massillon. Yeah, and
also
If you
Massillon,
you
happen to
can
be
Ohio.
you
around
can go
there,
to his
make
website,
sure
which
you
is
go catch Aaron Cosbill.
professorofcomedy.com, and it will give you directions to this place in particular. So professorofcomedy.com, which we've never mentioned on the
Yeah,
podcast, but that's where he's at.
Which we definitely should.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
it's
All my comedy dates are up there.
yeah, it's on coxinspace.com. If you go up there, you check him out, it leads you to him, as everyone else's socials are up there as well. But professorofcomedy.com, if you want to see what the show is and you want to get tickets for it, he definitely is very diligent about making that happen.
Yeah, since I'm involved in a production company, I should probably make myself public. You know, you have to request to follow me still on Instagram, and that's one of the only links that I have.
Which is totally fine. I mean, we talk about this style of shit posting that is super fun that I think you're gonna want to keep doing. Also, the thing that I'm excited about that other
Which I mean,
people might not know about is with Kaz's at doing his headlining show. He's going to be doing Cause and Effect, which is his hour-long set. So if you haven't been able to see it, most people haven't been able to see it because he did shoot his live show, but it hasn't been released yet. So if you want to catch it before it's released and say you saw it first, that'd be a good time to do it. Um, bring your phone so you can remember it forever, but don't record it. Just kidding, don't record it.
Buy a kazoo.
Yeah, and get a kazoo from Cosville because they're only official if they come from him. You still have them branded, right? With your stuff on it?
Yeah, yeah. It says Kazoo because my last name's Cosbill.
Yeah.
Has a bow tie on it and my website.
You got the kazoo. So
Positive.
you can get a kazoo if you're in
Yeah.
Ohio and you see him. What you should do, get a kazoo.
that's the only way to get your Aaron Cosbill official kazoo.
Kazoo.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
So,
It's in the name.
the thing we don't call out, which we should call out, is Jack is a Twitch streamer as well, so you should catch him streaming Rocket League. Because you're still doing that, right? Which nights?
I usually do it. So the nights that I'm not doing things here, so I
Oh,
usually
that's
would do
right.
it Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
That's why our schedule is that way. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. We have writers
Monday,
meetings on the
Wednesday,
nights we get
Saturday.
together. So he does that Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Um, what is like 7 or 8 o'clock Central Standard.
Um, it's like 6 Central to like 8 or 9 Central.
Cool.
Yeah, so like that usually a 2 or 3 hour time in there.
And so if you guys are fans of Rocket League,
Stop on
Yeah, so I
by.
guess y'all can choose who y'all like and tune into which one or the other. I'm fucking with you, Jack.
no, yeah, we
You
we
guys
don't
tune into
we don't
whatever
have
you
a
want.
public meeting
I
on those
rock with
days.
one viewer all
Shout out to
time.
Jack Haynes. I'm sure I hadn't tuned in, but I'm sure he's just as talented as a Rocket League player as he is as an illustrator.
Oh,
And this
we've
man is
seen
a
footage.
fucking 5-star illustrator, ladies and gentlemen. So make
we
sure you tune into his streams.
we've seen footage of him playing Rocket League. Um, and he is. So I would definitely support it. You'll have fun because then there's also the commentary of Jack on that show, which is more time. Thank you for adding the shadow, Jack, to him running around because that was one of the things that I was going to ask you for too. So ahead of the curve.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I need to. I'm kind of like putting in things as I think about them almost. So I should be putting them in like a little more responsibly. But
it's a big picture thing that you're doing right now, and you're doing all the big picture things correctly, and then I'm falling behind you with the little picture thing, knowing that you're looking at the big picture.
Yeah. I mean, it's
It's
coming together.
it's legit
Ooh, that came out of nowhere.
Bless you.
the
Thank
thing
you.
that I like so much that of what you're doing that I want everything to be as good as everything else that you're doing.
I got it. I'm gonna, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this shadow thing. Exactly. I guess I'm just gonna do shadows and not any.
Hey, Aaron, so the all the clit energy is pink, right?
Correct.
Okay, and so I wanted to say that before I shut this out
Hey,
because
As
I
long as
think
it's based on love, it's pink.
okay, yeah. So I think the light coming from the clit above his head will be pink, and there's a dashboard light on another panel that you're working on. I think it doesn't have a color yet. It might be red, but I think I don't know. It was red in the original drawing too.
Just talking about down here.
Yeah, just you know how the light above him is
Talking about
yellow.
that right there. Can I just circle?
I
Oh
can't
yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can change that to. I mean, it is kind of. I mean, like if you look at it, it is pink. Like this is like.
I
See,
noticed you have that in there. Yeah.
it's just that they try to give it like a little bit. Yeah, I tried to give it like a little bit more like of a. I wanted it to kind of almost look like the. Yeah, actually, maybe I can augment. Let's see, maybe it's sort of. Let's try to augment this.
There is. Okay, I see you have streaks of pink going and the yellow on top of them.
Yeah, because I wanted it to look like it was a different kind of energy than just like regular like light shine, like a light blinking or whatever. Let me get this pink. Let's see the pro.
So the climax, I just love the climax of this episode is Peter putting his face into that and crawling into the love drive because he gets wasted on feelings down on Pussy Paradise and he just misses his wife so much. So bravo to Jack for bringing the
Yeah,
love drive
it's
to
very
life.
sweet.
Sound like yeah,
Aaron, what did you say?
it's a little both of feeling.
What'd you say?
That's what I was asking you.
There you go.
Oh, well, I had said that it's that like honestly, it's very sweet that like you know if you did just get drunk on feelings, you who are you gonna booty call but your wife?
Right,
Uh,
right. It's like,
That
uh,
was one of the reasons I agreed with that bit is because like if he's in a relationship, he's gonna call it to the one person where he's like, damn.
you know who I miss?
So I added like a little pink lens. I added like a
That's
little pink lens
the
flare
pink
here to
lens
kind of make
flare.
it.
Yeah, it just needed a
I
flavor of
like that
pink.
too.
Yeah, thank you, Jack. You knew you weren't so off base. It was just like one other thing.
I
Fellas,
wanted it. Yeah.
fellas, I will have to call it a little bit early tonight. This is Logan Gator signing off from Drawing with Jack.
Hey man, good to
But
see you.
hope y'all fellas have a wonderful session.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Take it easy.
Yes,
Always a pleasure.
absolutely. Every time.
There he is. He is
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
out.
yeah.
Cool. Um, yeah, so man, yeah, it is looking good. Uh, really, really appreciate this. So Tuesday, Thursday is what we're looking at for next week as well. and
Yeah.
all
I
the
think
way
going forward,
forward.
Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah, see that
Yeah.
white light on the dashboard there?
This one?
Yeah. Oh, does it have color on it? And I'm just not seeing the color. Oh, it's also a pink one.
Yeah, it's pink.
Okay, you
Yeah.
totally, yeah, you totally did it. Can
I
that,
can make it a brighter pink or like a
yeah,
hotter pink,
like almost the
like
shade
more like
of
the
like the
nebula
egg?
if you want.
Yeah.
Because like in the first panel, it is like a hotter pink, so I think I need to do that anyway. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that makes just be. So yeah, I think I just need to go in over it. So like, actually, let me just do it right
We,
now.
yeah, and that's
Three.
like clit energy. Again, the chicken love interface technology energy. Um, for those of you who
Okay,
have never heard that and think it's so
see
strange that
what's
I'm just referencing a slang term for female anatomy.
up. The clip. Wait, what? What are we talking?
Yeah, it's just like the sort of stuff we mentioned casually. Like yesterday or the day before, we were in a writers meeting and we're like, listen, he's just gonna pull on his wiener. He's gonna reach into his wiener and pull out whatever he can find. And whatever he pulls out from his wiener is what he's gonna use. You know, because we're referencing the
It's
technology that you had created on the backpack. And we're like, he has everything in his wiener. Um,
yeah,
so. You know what I mean? Just casually, we get to say
nice.
that sort of thing. All clit energy is pink energy. It'll be written in the rule book, so like all animators afterwards know. So we are meeting with Frank
There you go.
Francisco tomorrow night, and we're probably going to talk about some of the ways that we'll discuss approaching how to animate this fully. Because I know that from an animate's perspective, there's a lot easier ways to do things than we are doing them. So it will be exciting. I'll be excited to bring stuff back to you as well to talk about like what opportunities we have. The thing that's been holding us up is I don't have the expertise or knowledge in animation except for like a passing concept of what it
Right.
is. So. I'm gonna talk with him tomorrow, and then we'll get together Tuesday, Thursday of next week. So, man, you have a good weekend. Thank you for meeting with us as always. We
Yeah, I'm going
definitely
home this weekend, so
appreciate you. Okay, and you get to
yeah, if
hang out with
there's like
Mo.
anything said in the Discord or anything, I might miss it because
Okay.
I'm gonna be home with my mom this weekend. But yeah, I hope everybody has a good weekend. It was
Yep.
fun hanging out.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna
Okay. Aaron, last
end
thoughts?
the stream.
It's looking so good.
Facts.
Everything.
It does. It does look so good. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you back on any of our podcasts, but also back with Drawing and with Jack as we continue pushing forward. Thank you again so much, and we'll talk to you and see you soon.
Bye.